Okay, in this video I will be hello guys. In this video I will be solving task 2 of the pre-release material of region 2, so 1908/0/22. I'll be going through task 2. This is task 2. Okay, so you will have to have Visual Basic installed. I recommend, if you don't, you should watch one of the videos I posted earlier. You should watch video of task 1.1 and 1.2 and an introduction video to Visual Basic where I go through everything that has to do with console.readline, console.writeline, the basics of Visual Basic, and okay, now I'm going to start with task 2 from now. Okay, the format of the user ID is the following sequence of characters: 1 caps uppercase letter, 2 lowercase letters, and 3 numericals digits. Okay, so 1's a capital, 2 are small letters, so H, A, L, and 3 are digits. So this is what they want to be the pattern: 1 small, 1 capital, 2 small, and 3 digits. So the user ID must be valid in this case. Okay, the program that we have to make takes a user ID as input, so it'll take a user ID as input, then it will check the format, so it'll check if the first character is a capital letter, then check the second and third if it's if they're small letters, and it'll check if the 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th, and 6th letters are digits. Okay, so if the format is correct, we have to print correct format. But if the format is not correct, we have to print wrong format. So this is what we have to do. Okay, so in task 2.1 we have to write pseudocode equivalent to structured English. So this is the structured English that they have stated above, and we have to write the pseudocode. So I will not be going through pseudocodes in this video, but if you request, I will make a separate video in GW Basic on how to write pseudocodes for this program, and specifically I'll be tackling program code in Visual Basic for this structured English, so task 2.2 to be specific. So I'm gonna open Visual. Okay, I'm gonna open Visual Basic. There you go. I'm so sorry. There you are. I'll open Visual Basic, and you should have the task printed out. I have the description. I have this task printed. I'm sorry, I have this PDF file of the task in the description below. There's a Dropbox link, so you can download and print this PDF file so that you have it in front of you. I'll be minimizing this, and I'll be maximizing this. Okay, so you need to type this thing right here, or just go into File and say New Project, and then select Console Application, because that is what we need to know as stated in the pre-released material. Okay. I'll increase the font to 150, and then I'm going to start my program. Okay, so what I have to do in my program is to first take an input. So first of all, I have to prompt the users. The program design in structured English. The first thing I have to do, have to do is prompt for user ID. There it is. Okay, so I have to prompt for user ID. So I'm going to say, please So the program is going to ask the user, please input user ID. Okay, so console.write, and inside double quotations I'm going to say, please input user ID. Okay, that's what they say, that's what I said, and I'm going to close this double quotation. Okay, the next step is to input user ID. So in this next step, I'm going to read what the user types onto the console, and then I'm going to transfer it into a variable. So my variable is going to be user ID. This is what I state, and this is the command that reads console.readLine, reads what the person types from his keyboard to the command line, and then it stores whatever he types into this variable user ID. Okay, I haven't declared an initialized user ID, so I'm going to say dim user, mind you, as string, because it has letters and digits, so it's going to be string, and then I'm going to initialize it. So I'm going to say user, you should maintain, and the whatever is capital, exactly, the variable has to be exactly the same. User ID is equals to an empty string. This is how you declare a string variable. This is a variable, this is string. This user ID is a string variable. This is how you initialize a string variable. Okay, and right here we took an input, right here we prompted the user, right here we took an input. So I'm going to just show you what's happening. Okay, so this is what's happening. Line 1, this is line 1. What does it do? It prints right over here. Then line 2, what does line 2 do? I type HAL123 or whatever. I type in mumbo jumbo, and then I press enter. And when I press enter, whatever is typed on the screen will get transferred into this variable right here. Granted, there is no program after this, so it's going to end. So when I press enter, it's going to end because the program, I haven't written anything else. Okay, but whatever gets typed over here gets saved into user ID. Okay, that's what you need to know. Okay, that's it. Okay, now I need to check the format. So I have to ensure that this variable right here, whatever the person types to the screen, is transferred into this, and then I have to check this. So I'm going to say, first of all, if user ID is equals to 6, because I'm sorry, not 6, if the length of user ID is equals to 6, because HAL123, it is 6 characters. I'll show you. Wait. Okay. HAL123. There are 6 characters, which means that the length is 6. Okay, so the length should be equals to 6. Okay, what is this? I'll show you the length command. It's on the appendix right here. There it is, length happy day. It will return 10. So if I say length user ID, if the user ID contains 8 digits or 9 characters or 10 characters or 11 characters, it will not pass this test of if. Okay, I have to ensure that the user ID that the user types in, that the person types in, is of 6 characters. Okay, that's my first check. Okay, my second check is gonna be and. I'm typing and because okay, I'm typing and because I need this to be true. I need the length of the user ID to be equals to 6, and then I need the first letter. I need the first letter of the user ID. I need the first letter. So left user ID, comma 1. What does this do? What does this command do? It says it takes the first letter of whatever is being typed in. So the first letter of user ID is taken, and I need to ensure that it's a capital letter. So it ranges from capital A to capital Z. Okay, so that's what I have to ensure. So left user ID, it should be equal to or greater than a string A and left user ID, comma 1 should be equal to and lesser than Z, a string Z, okay, a capital Z. So what essentially is happening over here, left user ID 1, it takes the first letter, it ensures if it's greater than A. If it's greater than A, it's going to pass the test. But it also have to ensure that that exact letter is below capital Z in ASCII. Okay, you have to check that. This is my range, capital A to capital Z of the first letter. The second two letters are going to be ranging from small a to small z. Okay, you have to understand this. Okay, so now I'm going to use the mid string, the mid function. I'm going to say and, because I need this to be true as well. I'm going to say and mid user ID. I have to take the second letter and the third letter. Okay, so it's going to be 2 comma 2. I have to say, I'll just show you. Just hold on a second. This function right here, I'll explain to you how it works again. Right here, just let it load. Okay, for instance, say I input exactly the same thing, HAL123. Okay, I input HAL123. This is what I input. Okay, let's increase the font to 64. Let's take this somewhere here. Okay, say I input this. Okay, this is what I input, and I want I want this letter and I want this letter. So what I do is I use this mid function, mid of the variable 2 comma 2. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to go 2 places from the left to the right. So it's going to go 1, 2, and then it's going to select this letter and it's going to select this letter. So these two letters, and that's what I need. Okay, this is how the mid functions work. I've explained this in detail in another video. Please do check that out. Okay, so mid user ID 2,2. This should be equal to and greater than the string value that ranges from a small a to small zz. Mind you, this is the first letter. The second letter, this one right here is the second letter, and this one right here is the third letter. And both of them can range from small a to small z. So I'm going to add another line to the code. I'm going to say and mid user ID, comma 2,2 is equal to and lesser than a string zz. Okay, it's as simple as that. That's how you do it. So this thing right here, it takes care of my first and my second and my third letters, and it checks if it's between small a and small a and small z and small z. Okay, there are plenty of different ways to do this. This is how I'm going to attempt it because I find this to be the easiest. Okay, I'll just explain to you the if command. If all of this is correct, then it's going to do something. Okay, you don't have to worry about that right now. Let's just complete. Okay, now I'm left with the last three digits. That's what I have to take care of. So I'm going to use the command I'm going to use the command left. No, I cannot use left. I'll have to use the command right, comma 3. From the right, I need 3 digits to the left. Okay, right, comma 3. So I'm going to say and right user ID, comma 3. Forget about this then. Right user ID, comma 3. This should be equal to and greater than a string 000. It can range from 000 to a string 999. Okay, and right user ID, comma 3 is greater than, is equals to and lesser than a string 999. Okay, so these are my validation checks. If all of this is true, if this user ID entered is of 6 characters, if the first letter is ranging from a capital A to a capital Z, and if the second and the third letters are ranging from small a's to small z's, and if the last three characters are ranging from a 000 to a 999, my user ID is valid. If all of this is true, my user ID is valid, then I have to print. If the user ID is valid, what do I have to print? I have to print right line. I have to print user. I have to print correct format. I'm sorry, CORRECT capital format. Okay, this is what I had to print, and I've done that. But say, for instance, my user ID was not valid. Say it was 8 characters. Say it didn't have a capital a capital letter in the first as the first character. So I'll have to print wrong format. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to say else. If this is not true, do else. The if command does this if all of this is true. But if any of this is not true, because I have ands in between, if any of this is not true, it'll jump to else and it'll say console.writeLine, and I'm gonna say it's the wrong format. And this is my entire program. Did have fun writing it. So yeah, this is my entire program, and I'm gonna test it out right now in front of you guys. I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna say HAL123. I'm gonna type in console.read key. So that it halts the program after it's done this. I've explained before what this means. I'll just explain again. Wait. I just typed in HAL123, and if you saw really fast, it typed correct format and then it exited the program. To halt the program, I typed this console.read key at the end of my program. Okay, I'm gonna type in HAL123. See correct format. I'm gonna type again. I'm gonna type a wrong format, say BAL123. This is the wrong format. So that's how the program works. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot. And stay tuned for task 2.3 and task 2.4, as well as task 3 and task 4. Thank you so much. I'll catch you again in a later video. Thank you.